We live in a fast-paced world. Technology is flying at us from all different directions, and it's easier now to connect with each other than ever before. But somehow, that's created a bit of a disconnect. Hi, I'm Sarah from Shaw Spotlight, and today we're going to disconnect to connect. The library is a great place to both connect and disconnect. You can get lost in a book, join a social group, or jump on a computer and connect with people from around the world virtually. It's kind of crazy though that in such a busy place, you can still be or feel alone. It just depends on how you look at it. In this episode of Spotlight features, our first story comes from Thunder Bay, Ontario, where one man disconnects from himself, transforms, and connects on a whole other level with his community. Producer Janice Gummison introduces us to Daffy.
I like to connect with my community through my Daffodil Den, Daffy the Clown persona. It gives me a chance to go out and volunteer for a lot of worthwhile events and organizations around town. It works. Being a clown gives me lots of funny moments and being part of people's lives. Even just to bring some happiness. They might be sad that day and they see the clown and they get a glitter tattoo or they get their face painted. It makes them feel good, it makes me feel good.
It looks awesome.
Having cancer 12 years ago made me really consider what my life was all about. So by helping others that might be going through a cancer journey or any other difficulties they may be encountering, gives me satisfaction and peace of mind. Time to go face painting. I love interacting with people, whether it's a child or a parent, whoever's there. It's just to have fun, make fun of myself. So I get out my stick, I've got a little roller, do face painting with. But I like to do balloon animals and I'd like to do glitter tattoos. There you go. My volunteering has given me a sense of purpose and well-being. It's good to give back and to keep busy. And by getting involved with many different things, it helps your day go by faster. It gives you a better mindset, better outlook on life. There you go. How do you like that?
I like it.
My favorite thing is just the satisfaction knowing that I've made a difference in someone's life. I've helped them through maybe a bad time or just help others that don't have the things that I have. It's better to connect one-on-one with people and look them in the eyes, make them laugh, make them smile, make them feel good. I like to make a big difference in people's lives by the little things. Just say hi. It lightens up my day, but it also could lighten up someone else's day. There you go. Take them for a walk. Someone made a difference in my life years ago, and I'm making a difference in someone's life now. And that makes me feel good, and I can sleep better at night. Hi, I'm Dan Baxter, otherwise known as Daffy the Clown. Bye.
Some people disconnect from the daily grind by reading or listening to a book. Personally, I prefer the old-fashioned paper or hardcover book. This next group shares stories in a totally what's old is new again way. Like all who discover new stories, this group is just as intrigued with the twists and turns and ups and downs of a narrative, yet connecting with those around them. And without those who listen, there would be no story. Christina Krachowski in Castlegar, BC has a story. I mean, stories.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I'd like to tell you a story that is so old that there were no stories yet.
An individual gets up there and he or she may not warn anyone what they're going to say, and yet they've got the stage and they have been given a great deal of freedom. When we watch movies, or when we listen to podcasts, those electronic events are carefully edited, scrutinized, and censored. And that's what's so radical about storytelling.
The great Anansi the Spider, a demigod of demigods, he knew where the stories were, and he had decided.
My first memory of oral storytelling was when I was a very young girl. And my mother told me a story called Shitakiri Suzume, which is about a sparrow who had its tongue removed.
And the first story, I still remember it, that really hooked me, was the old man who said, "Why?" He kept asking why, and everybody was saying, stop him, he's driving me crazy." And so basically they pushed him off, though this was on the moon. And as he fell, he became younger, and then he became the kid that says, "Why, Mommy? Why is the grass green? Why is the sky blue, Mommy?" Or Daddy.
The edge of the sky. Then he climbed up and over the top of the sky, and he walked across until he came to the castle of the sky god.
People who come to the Storytelling Guild put their phones away, make sure they're off. You know, it's like attending, this is going to sound extreme, but attending the birth of something.
It's not just about ego and getting up there and telling stories. It's about being part of that group that is together experiencing the art of storytelling. There's no script. I have nothing memorized. It's all just, it's alive in me, and I let it out.
You know, when you're a nurse, you get a great deal of satisfaction in helping somebody feel better. And I suppose the storytelling would fill that niche too. But then it got to be more than that. It got to be a craft. And he said, "Who am I? I am the wind.
I've listened to stories on CDs and on the radio and on podcasts, and I love it. I love listening to it. The one thing about it, it's not quite alive. It's not the same as watching a storyteller's face.
When somebody tells you an amusing story, you can see the twinkle in their eye, you can see the laugh, you can see the creases in their faces.
By themselves, removed from the world, and the baby is born, a little boy. And even then, the grandmother
I don't think the human voice and the human mind, the knowledge about stories and the willingness and passion to tell them, I don't think that's going to disappear. It hasn't lost any relevance at all.
I think the value of storytelling in our modern times is that it slows time down. And you are sitting there and you are experiencing something in the moment of value.
My hopes for the future of the Guild is just to continue on to build this legacy of a space where stories are told and listening happens.
Thank you.
One of the simplest ways to completely disconnect is to just get outside. Leave your phone and go for a walk. Connect with nature and yourself. Your relationship with nature can be so powerful. The real deal though, not just a picture on a screen.
Oh, a coyote. To not recognize completely our relationship with nature is a tragedy. I think there's a relationship there that needs to be kept. I'm Ellen Van Laar, and I am a person of this land. For me, that means that I'm an artist and a musician, a nature lover, and try to do my best to have a relationship with the land. Always studied history of humanities, and I wanted to not just talk about it, I wanted to experience it. And that meant a closer relationship with animals and plants. This is mint tea from the yard. And also trying to promote that type of living where we actually get out of our heads and away from our electronics and don't watch TV and create our own stories instead of having people create them for us. This one?
Yeah.
I call it the garden wall. Oops, oh great, my battery's dead. There's that problem with addiction, like what's happening today on Facebook and the television and in our political structures. And lies. We don't know what the truth is anymore. But the main truth is nature. Because the natural world needs us. It needs us a lot. Or we need it actually more than it needs us, but it's a matter of how do people relate best together. And for a lot of us, it's through taking a walk or playing music together. And some people like to watch movies and television and all that, but the balance of knowing we're connected to something larger is what also connects me to people. It gives me hope to know that people want to connect to nature and recognize that that's what feeds us. Well, it's like being with little kids. You know, if you can get them back to that awesome state of discovering things, and just like they're not looking at other people and their work and those kinds of things. So watching people do that is a joy. It's like watching kids grow up. And people teach me so much. I hope that people take the time to look at, you know, the seasons and the stages of ice and water and fire. A lot of this water has probably been in the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean. It's traveled around the Earth. It's like, our bodies are, what, 90% water or something like that? We take that water in. We take in the heat of the sun. And that's why our blood flows through our veins. It's a pulse. It's a pulse.
After getting some fresh air, I am ready for some real, genuine human connection by playing a game of Ticket to Ride. My challenger, Micah Dorjan from the University of Calgary from the Department of Sociology. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to be here.
Of course, we're so happy you could join us. You said to me earlier, mentioned the good, the bad, and the ugly of technology. Can you give me some examples?
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of research has confirmed that technology is not good or bad. It's kind of how you use it, right, and how it's applied to what context. So there's a lot of good that comes out of the social connection that teens get. A lot of the times, those who are more seriously harmed and experience cyberbullying online often, not always, but often relates back to their offline peer groups, those at their school often. And that's an important thing, although there is a lot of validation that teens get. Some things haven't changed over time. Being a teenager, pretty much the same. Searching for identity, pretty much the same. Not sure who you are, pretty much the same. Now you can find groups that you identify with, social support online. That's the good. That's really a very good thing. Then there is the bad and the ugly, depends on your perspective. There are things, of course, about the ability to be pursued, cyberbullying, persistent aggression over time with a power imbalance between two parties. And you go off one platform, if you quit Facebook, they'll follow you on Instagram. You quit that, you go on TikTok, they'll follow you there. And so that's one of the risks about the medium itself. But I'll give you one example. Have you heard of swatting?
No.
So nowadays, a lot of teens are on Twitch, TV, I think it is. So they see video games being played live stream. Right, so you can see watch someone. Yeah, so you can watch the person playing the game and having the headphones and everything on and seeing what they're doing. Part of the kind of culture is a prank culture. It's a troll culture for some teens, not all. I would say not even the majority, just some. And so some teens have been taking it to call in a terrorist threat or something and link that to a person's home while they're live streaming a game. So they call in a SWAT team to have that person taken down quite aggressively. Seeing that live is something that's new based on the technology. Wow. And then you get to see that person being taken down, and sometimes with very serious consequences. And this is a subculture dynamic that has to do with gamers, online gamers in particular. So that I would classify more as the ugly in terms of what.
That's a whole other level.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, which way do you think we're moving when it comes to how we take in technology, how we remove ourselves from technology? I'm positive. I'd like to say we're talking about it more. We know we should meet up with our friends more often instead of texting. Yeah. Are we trending in that direction, or what would you say?
I captured people's views about it, and there has been, or there is, a lot of concern among parents, as well as knowledge among teens about how important it is to unplug, to play games with the family offline, one-to-one communication. What I think is still very challenging is how much of our attention is motivated by corporations and profit motives. The idea of microtransactions on the apps that we purchase, the monthly subscriptions, which are becoming more ubiquitous no matter what we access. Yeah. Those things pull us back to our phones. And there's some very interesting studies, I've asked my students about this, where you don't have a phone in your pocket, you forget your phone, but you feel the buzz. You actually feel a physical sensation in your, by your leg, by your pocket, where the phone would normally be, and you feel that physically. Yeah. And there's a neurological adaptation to that technology. So the need to unplug definitely is real. The challenge is, though, how successful we can be about that on a whole. There were one group of teens that were more or less successful at being more offline. They weren't on social media, and they didn't feel this fear of missing out. A fear of missing out was central. FOMO, right. And this is an acronym many teens know and use quite actively. So if you are not in the loop, if you block, as sometimes their advice given is just block someone who's bothering them. If you do that, you're out of the loop, you're disconnected. And so that's not something a lot of teens are doing. But one group of teens were quite capable of doing this. They were going to a school with fewer students in the classroom, and they felt that they did not need to connect because most of the students there they didn't have that sort of validation online, right? Okay. So, but I would say that's more the exception than the rule in terms of teens. So it's one thing to say that you're more aware of it. And it's another thing to look at what people are actually doing. The challenge is that everything is on our devices, and the Internet of Things now is becoming more prominent, meaning good luck buying a toaster oven without it having Wi-Fi connectivity these days. And these things it's cool. You can check how your toast is doing on your phone. You don't have to be home. Is my toast burnt, etc., as mine often is when I make toast. So that's one of the challenges too, is that it's not just phones, it's everything we use that's connected, that's pulling us back to the medium.
Right, because even when you check a text message, all of a sudden you find yourself down the rabbit hole of Facebook or whatever. Absolutely. And you're like, I was only going to check my phone for... Yeah,
or use the same device for schoolwork, which happens to also have connectivity for Facebook or Instagram or what have you, right? Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. Thanks for joining us today. We have a lot more connecting to do. Don't go anywhere. Coming up, why live in someone's pocket when you can jump into a pool together? Stay right here on Shaw Spotlight. Welcome back to Shaw Spotlight Features as we focus on disconnecting to connect. So far, we've explored mentally connecting with ourselves, people around us, and our community. But these next two features are about the physical side. There's nothing quite like jumping into a cool pool or getting hit in the face with a ball to help disconnect.
3, 2, 1, dodgeball! I got soul. Make me wanna dance. I got soul. Make me wanna dance. I got soul. When I hear 3, 2, 1 dodgeball, I just zone in and I will go for the ball and get it back to the wall as quick as possible so I can get this game going.
It feels really good to hit somebody. It's harder than it looks. When I'm being targeted, my main focus is just catch the ball or run away as fast as I can.
Funny, we don't really have strategies, we just go. Win or lose, you're still having fun.
Our team name for dodgeball is
Hot Diggity.
Hot Diggity.
Hot Diggity Dodge! 3, 2, 1, dodgeball!
Our team has been playing for 6 seasons, I think. It's kind of morphed into mostly my friend and family team. Although it is still really competitive, it is really fun to play against everybody. It's really fun playing with my dad, so it's nice to see him. Once a week we get together and play dodgeball. He really likes it.
It's neat to watch, actually, because she's a little bit shy person, and this has really brought her out of her shell.
Well, I think it's more the active aspect. I think him and I just like getting out and playing a game together. It's really fun.
Oh, I think we gel pretty good out there. I mean, everyone's got their own life going on, but we all come together on Tuesday night, and it's good.
Playing with Tyler and her dad's pretty awesome. We all get along really well, and it's cool just to have that experience together.
I really enjoyed dodgeball when I played in high school.
35 years has been the last time I played, yeah.
First time back playing dodgeball was quite different from the last time I played it.
We only played with 1 ball back then. There's 6 in this game, so it's a little bit different. It's way faster.
I was a little bit timid at first, but I definitely it grew on me, and I'm not afraid of balls anymore. I'm not afraid to get hit.
When you're sitting on the bench, you're still in the game. So if you can shout, if you can give them any kind of pointers, it all helps.
I look forward to it every week. It's just so fun, and it's the only sport that I truly really like. So I get out there and it gets me active. It's really good.
You don't usually get out and throw balls around at strangers for an hour, but you know, coming out once a week is awesome. We just have a good time, let loose, release some pent-up energy.
Keep moving, keep breathing. Catching is everything. If you can catch, then you got them.
Everybody has strengths and their weaknesses. So you just focus on your strengths and you're just out there to have fun and be a good sport.
Ski Whiff, JB, Baby Bam, Fly Down Lotus.
Acting my age has never been one of my strong points. I have found that the water has saved my life. Just everything works 100% better when there's water involved.
When I was younger, I thought, this is really old.
I remember thinking 30 was old. And then I remember thinking, oh, 40 was old. Now I'm 65, and people say, well, how does it feel to be 65? And my answer is, how the heck should I know? I haven't been 65 before.
I am 69 years old. When I go into the water, I usually go in. It's usually cold at first, but I always duck myself right in, right at the beginning. Once you're in the water, then it's nice.
I am getting up there in years. I'm very active still. I'm very, very active, so I don't feel that I'm 79.
I am going to be 84 in January. Rita, do you really feel your age?
No, no, I don't.
All the ladies come and we get together for our Aquafit class. Some of us, it's our social time. It doesn't matter when we go home if we don't say another word all day. We talk while we're doing it sometimes, and then we have our coffee.
I've always enjoyed swimming.
Likewise, I enjoy swimming.
When I learned to swim, you couldn't go to the Y because I'm a Catholic. And it was a no-no when I was growing up. But I went to Girl Guides and I learned to swim when I was in Girl Guides. And then I've always liked it since then.
I have never been particularly fond of the water. And yet, when I started coming here, I fell in love.
Going in the water is easier on my joints, so I can do almost all of the activities there to the best of my ability.
I'm really flexible, so I can do any of the exercises that Maria has for us. Some of the girls take it much slower at their pace, whatever they can do. And we can get some pretty good waves going in that pool.
If I was 20 and had the wisdom that I had now, I would say make time for yourself.
Keep active, have fun, and do as many things that you are able to do.
I would tell my 20-year-old self to smarten up.
I'd say most of the stuff you think is so important right now is crap.
Well, take advantage of what you've got. Make the best of whatever position you're in at any given time, because it might not come back again.
When you are young and you're working and you have children, it's sometimes very hard to make time for yourself, but I found that you need to make an appointment. So coming to Aquafit, that's my appointment. That's scheduled into my day.
I used to come in the mornings and then go to work 3 to 11 as a nurse at the hospital. And I did that all these years.
After my husband passed away, Jackie insisted that I come.
I don't care what you do, the more you can do for yourself, the better you're going to be when you're older.
Some days you don't feel like going out, just force yourself to go.
Being a part of a group is very good for anybody.
I think it's one of the reasons we love coming here so much, is the camaraderie and the discussion and the laughter.
It's just fun to be with the girls.
We have fun and we laugh. This group has definitely brought friends into my life, people that I've known for years, and new ones.
We do keep in touch, but we don't live in each other's pocket. We meet here after our classes, have our coffee, and enjoy ourselves.
We've had a well-balanced show today, and as Mike said earlier, it is all about balance. Technology is great, but you have to be smart about it. So from the pool to the great outdoors to doing a puzzle, there's so many great ways to disconnect and connect. To see more community content from across Canada, check out our website, shawspotlight.ca, and of course follow us on social at shawspotlight. Now, let's try and finish this puzzle.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Beep, beep.
For the charts that will